cozy in our apartment. Michael and I sat together on the couch, the warmth of the lamplight making the diamond on my finger shimmer just a little brighter. I held a newspaper article in my hand, the headline stark and heavy, about diamond mining's impact on the earth, on places far from here, like South Africa. We shared a look, one that didn't need words. We knew what we had to do. It just felt right. This ring, beautiful as it is, was taken from the earth, and we've decided it's time to return it. We finally stepped out of the airport, backpacks on and the ring carefully tucked away. The sun was bright and strong, hotter than anything I'd felt back home, and everything seemed to hum with life around us. Michael flagged down a taxi while I double-checked our map. Kimberly was our next stop, where the big hole waited. It felt surreal, almost like we were on a quest. As we drove, I watched the cityscape fade into endless stretches of savanna, with the red earth and tall acacia trees rolling by outside the window. Michael's hand was warm in mine, and I couldn't help but notice the way our wedding bands caught the light, little reminders of our promise. My ring finger felt oddly bare now, but somehow, it felt right, like a new kind of commitment taking shape with every mile. We finally reached it, the big hole. Standing on the viewing platform, I was completely awestruck. The crater stretched out before us, almost half a kilometer wide, with deep blue water at the bottom reflecting the sky back at us. Around the edges, old mining equipment from the 1800s stood like ghosts of a different time. It was overwhelming, haunting, and so beautiful in its own strange way. I felt so small, yet somehow more connected to this place than ever. We wandered through the museum, quiet and thoughtful, taking in the history laid out before us. There were displays about diamond mining, showing the brutal conditions workers faced and the scars left on the land. We stopped in front of some old photographs, the big hole being dug by hand, layer by layer. I looked at Michael, and I could see the same solemn feeling reflected in his eyes. It was hard to take in, knowing the cost of something so small and shiny. By the soft glow of candlelight, Michael and I sat down to write a note to go with the ring. We wanted to explain why we were doing this, to return something taken from the earth, to honor the cost it carried. As I finished the last words, I glanced at the diamond, catching the light of the flame one final time. It felt like a quiet farewell, bittersweet and beautiful. The world was still, the quiet of dawn wrapping around us. We stood there, just the two of us, at the edge of the platform, watching the first light touch the earth. I took the diamond from its setting, holding only our simple gold bands now. Michael held the poem in his hands, the words so much more meaningful than any sparkly stone. It felt like a new beginning, just us, and the promise we'd made, not to the diamond, but to each other. Michael and I held hands tightly as we carefully placed the diamond and our note in a small biodegradable pouch. Standing together, we released it over the edge, watching as it drifted slowly down toward the water far below. There was something peaceful about letting it go, watching it return to the earth where it belonged. We stood there for a long moment, feeling a sense of closure, a quiet understanding. We sat on a bench in the gardens, our shoulders brushing, the warmth of the morning sun making everything feel calm and right. The soft songs of local birds echoed through the trees, and for a moment, it felt like time had slowed down. Our plain wedding bands felt heavier now, not in weight, but in meaning. There was something peaceful about being here, together, surrounded by nature. It was as though everything had come full circle. Michael and I walked hand in hand through the old mining town, feeling lighter, like something had shifted inside us. We shared a smile, an unspoken understanding between us. It was clear now, true value isn't in the things we take from the earth, but in the bond we share.